is a guaranteed grab, but then I'm like, why not just go for the Pudge then and have that early fancy hook? I know it's not as guaranteed as something like the swap, but
it's easier to lane it. Like Venge, you can actually lane as a kind of safe lane support, and doesn't hurt your early game too much. Although Venge as a support, when do you ever see Venge nowadays? It used to be one of the go-to supports.
I know they might have maybe tweaked the numbers a bit on her, but
just the numbers. Yeah, they just tweaked a little bit of everything with the hero.
You'd think there'd still be enough there, though. I get it. The stun can be a bit slow and easily avoidable, especially into the later game when you got your blinks and your Yules and your BKBs all popping around. But she's still got the stun. She's got a fantastic aura. She's got great minus armor that goes along still with plenty of cores, so there's great synergy there. Great at being able to do Roche, a medallion candidate, and we all know the fantastic setup swap can be. So you just think with all these elements, she'd still be a good support grab, but I guess there's just other options there, or maybe that's just not the style right now, Gods. I'm not too sure, but Wyvern is too hot to trot as far as style goes. Root Gaming are going to pick it up as their first real support.
I'm going for the full Fire and Icy with the Lina and Wyvern together. But Fire, I'm not sure what the Wyvern really deters. You're not going to go for any IO combo now when you see a Winter Wyvern, that's probably for sure, but not something I was really expecting to see Fire pull out regardless. So the Tusk Undying still available if they want to go for that kind of pesky dual lane. And I would say Fire have maybe even done a few games of the Tusk support already, so where they play like a 4-position Tusk. So it could just be Whitebeard on the Tusk if they want to run something along those lines.
For now, though, they're going to go for the Quap. The Queen of Spain is going to get picked up third here for FireDota. Doesn't necessarily have to be the mid lane matchup, which for now it looks like we're looking at a possible Lina versus Quap get up here. Could always venture off to the safe lane. I don't know how comfortable Jo is playing the Queen of Pain, but it seems like it's one of those last remaining options out there to have a decent mid lane against the Queen, against the Lina. I almost called it the Lisa. The Lina.
So last time we saw Fire play, I think it was Jo on a Juggernaut in the safe lane, that Techies game they had. I think that was the last time they played.
Maybe that was. He's also played a PL.
Yep.
I could bring up the full history here. It's not too big of a deal. Team FireDota.
Yeah, because we haven't got a clear idea. No, I think he plays more of the actual kind of right-click carry styles, but Queen of Pain possibly. So he's fairly flexible in general, but before you bring that up, Root Gaming have picked up Ember Spirit, so not going to be looking to counter out any illusion heroes, just looking for that strong mid-game fighting hero, and a hero that can transition to the late game as well if needed, as we saw last time when Chibi played this year, and it'll be another Jug.
Yeah, another Jug. Something Jo is used to. It seems to be a lot of Jug and a lot of PL. He played PL in their one game against Pain Gaming, and then the other, it looks like he grabbed the Razor. So, a different style there. But this time it looks like he's going to go back to the tried and true Juggernaut build up here. He played it very similar to what we saw back in the 6.83 days. Your Mask of Madness, your Phase. Could set up an early Roche, but they are on the Radiant side now, so it is a bit different there. But, could be a bit tricky for this Jug. Seems like a pretty elusive Ember Spirit already being snagged up here. Lina can be very, touch and go. She has long range to work with, so could be good at being able to avoid the Jug, and of course Jug could have his hands full trying to work around these cogs. A bit hit or miss about the commitment to this Jug core.
No, it doesn't feel like Jug matches up well against the Root Gaming heroes at all. Like, all the heroes have an answer. Like, Cold Embrace blocks a lot of the Omni Slash, or blocks all the Omni Slash damage if you get on the right hero. Just Hookshot and Cogs is annoying for Jug to deal with. Laguna Blade goes through the Blade Fury. So there is more than enough answers on Root's side to deal with the Jug, but I think for Fire and for Jo, it's just like a comfort pick, something he knows how to farm well with, just be efficient with. He can then give the lane to a support if he wants to, once he kind of gets that Mask of Madness up, so he can rotate into the jungle. So I imagine for Fire, it's like, okay, this suits our playstyle and what we want to do, even if it's not an amazing counter or even just hero in general against what Root have.
So, bans here. Final set of bans coming out right now. Root Gaming rid of one of the last really selfless defensive supports, the Dazzle, leaving maybe like an Omni as a possible option there, if it's something FireDota do want to go for. Fire rid of the Wind Ranger. So, maybe they're feeling like this Lina is going to be a support, and they're still looking for a valued mid lane option. Is there any reason that she not consider putting the Lina in the mid lane? It's interesting to me that Fire read it in that way.
Vulnerable against like maybe Tusk ganks, I guess, and like that's one of the things with Lina is you haven't got a good escape. So if you're worried about Tusk potentially spending a lot of time roaming, maybe you're thinking that Tusk would just kind of ditch the off lane, come gank mid a lot. That's where you may want something a bit more elusive in the mid lane, something hard to kill, which is like someone like a Windrunner, the Queen of Pain, something with a blink, or Windrunner has her namesake ability, which helps her get away. But it will be a Lina mid.
Yeah, I mean,
comes out.
It definitely felt like it was going to be a Lina mid, so it felt a bit interesting to me that Fire read it that way. And it took a while, but it finally showed up. There it is, Undying. The Undying, which means that Fluff is going to be actually going over to the Rubik, and indeed Whitebeard is going to show us that he can play the UD.
And they waited to the last pick, which I feel like in this scenario is good to kind of hold on to see what your opponent's doing, because they realize that Root do not have the strongest safe lane, and pressuring an Ember Spirit in the lane is one of the best things you can do. This hero does not deal well with pressure at early levels, and that was like, I think it was back when like in the SEA scene where Rave and MVP Phoenix played each other a bunch, and Rave would play Ember Spirit every single game for Chrissy, but MVP finally realized the way to counter is just you aggro trailing against it. You shut him down early on and give him no farm, and suddenly Ember Spirit is not good at catching up and doesn't do much if he doesn't get those early levels. He has to have a safe laning stage to kind of take off.
Yeah, I mean that's something I've heard about Ember Spirit almost since he's been thrown into CM. It's a hero that really has a hard time getting back into the mix if he is pressured so early game. Incorporated so he can be a bit more of a fighter. You see more players now putting more of a rush into like a Boots of Travel, so he could be more mobile, be able to get right back to the fountain and back into the action here. Look at this. Juan instantly TPs in. He's like, I just want to get a ward down, but Whitebeard's already onto it. Seeing this more and more from a lot of these teams, they just want to make sure that their offlaner will be forced in the dark, and now it's just not going to be as easy for him to get that little bit of extra blanketed vision. But before we actually get into the nitty-gritty here, don't you feel like there could be a bit of a problem, especially into the mid-game for Undying? I feel like Visage and the Birds should be able to gobble up that Tombstone pretty easy.
Yeah, Visage is decent, but the rest of the heroes aren't very decent. You've got Ember, who's not going to want to go into the Tombstone. Clockwork's not so good. Wyvern's are awful. Lina's becomes okay at it, but isn't amazing until you've got levels and attack speed. Have you got I've got invisible heroes here. I don't know.
You do?
Lina's invisible. They're all invisible.
Okay, yeah. You might need to reconnect, I'm sure.
I could see one or two heroes. Like I can see Undying. I can't click my mini map.
That must have been what Ali was talking about when he was having trouble getting into their matchup the other day. He was saying that he could not see heroes and some spells.
Oh, Clock just went in, Viz.
Oh, he's back now. It looks like on your screen. Okay, good. Well, here we go, folks. We're going to go ahead and hop into the action here. This is the Nanyang Championships NA qualifier. We are back into the lower bracket, and we are seeing a mild tussle right here as Whitebeard really wants to zone back Monkeys away from the room, but now he's eating a lot of harassment. That Arctic Burn really does slow, and look at that. Convenient Derp goes to the low ground to get a few more extra attacks in. Obviously, they're not going to be shedding the first blood, but they will force out Whitebeard's salves, so he'll have to just walk back with a little bit less regen. Still has 4 tangos, though, and just to clarify, this is going to be a best of 3 for this lower bracket matchup since we're getting down to that final pinnacle point. Winner of this best of 3 moves on to face Digital Chaos, and then that winner will go into the grand finals to meet for Cloud9, who are going to be waiting.
Yeah, one best of 5 there to decide who will be going to Singapore to compete in the Nanyang Championship.
$200,000 prize pool. Yeah. Not even including the percentage from the crowdfunding too, so a lot of money on the line.
And some great teams. Like there's been 6 invites, I believe. You've got your top Chinese teams, CDEC, LGD, and Vici, and then you've got Secret, Virtus Pro, as well as Fnatic also invited.
Big deal here, and we'll have to see which of these teams are really going to push it to the next level. And we've been seeing it from a lot of these teams. I mean, for God's sakes, the matchup we had yesterday, watching that Cloud9 Digital Chaos, you'd think we were watching a grand final. These teams are definitely evolving from what we used to see a lot in the American scene especially. They're getting a bit more technical, a lot more disciplined and passive when it seems appropriate here. And they're getting first bloods rather quick. Bottom lane, Clockwork's going to get caught up position. That's what you love when you got a Rubik on your side. They seem to make the committed jump in, use the Blade Fury, and with a quick lift, he will be going down.
Well, that's a good start for Fire. The laning stage in general just looks really solid from them, having the Undying Tusk. Even against the tri lane, this lane should do fairly decently. Ember's gone very defensive in his item build, getting a lot of Tangos, a Salve, a Stout Shield, all these just defensive laning items, so we're not going to see Root get too aggressive despite having a tri-lane up here. And mid lane, Queen of Pain versus Lina, fairly evenish matchup, and it looks like for now Queen of Pain slightly ahead on CS.
Yeah, Lina a bit low on the mana with no sort of regen in sight until she gets that bottle underway. But
Snowball on mid, they've gone in on Lina.
Mid onto her, it's going to be that much longer. She's trying to walk away, but knows that she's going to be going down, so tries to fight with every last bit. They first put their attention onto the Quap, but now they're looking for Moo instead. This Arctic Burn is doing some work, but not going to be enough to get that redemption. It's going to be 2-0 now for Team Fire. A successful gank in the mid lane will knock Monkeys down a peg.
Oh, and Tuss finds a regen, so he's back to full HP and mana, so you're probably thinking if you're like, okay, well, Tusk went mid, he lost a bunch of HP and mana, now our safe lane can get some farm. But no, Tusk is going to be right back up here, ready to keep applying pressure on Ember Spirit.
Yep, and they didn't have that vision on the regen, so if he stays in the dark, he could get a big surprise possibly. Maybe even this top lane on a lingering little Jaw Visage, but looks like they're going to hold out for now, or not. Picked up maybe some boots from that, picked off in the mid lane, and they'll just kind of dance around here for now. But two of them looking to create a lot of control in this top lane and continue to make things a bit difficult for the Ember, though he still has managed to throw together 13 and 3 CS. So it really hasn't, done enough of a job yet to really frustrate this Ember Spirit.
Yeah, this is not what you'd maybe normally expect from a Tusk Undying.
Oh, Schwann's going to go down again. We catch the back end of it here. Another Cogs, but really nowhere to run. Fade Bolt at the end is going to finish him off. Fluff's going to pick up that one, and now it's 3-0 for Team Fire. Very strong early start happening in both the mid and now the bottom lane. Potential harassment on top. There it goes. Splinter Blast. This is their chance to move in. No TP's going to be coming. They're going to snowball both of them. They're going to look to commit Jaw here, but so much damage is coming out. Oh, what a big rip. It's going to go ahead and heal them on up, but Whitebeard's still going to be in trouble. Decides that he will be the sacrifice, pulling them away from Moo. Moo is now going to be salving up here. Shards in 2. Shards in 1. He's going to get 1 attack, 1 shard, and he's going to get the kill. A string together of a couple of sweet grabs here. FireDota get the better trade.
Yeah, that's the Tusk Undying in a nutshell. You go in on them, and a Tombstone is going to just ruin your day. That was a great Soul Rip as well. Something that Root did not expect. This is a level 3 Undying. Normally you'd see 2 points in the Tombstone, but I think he leveled up, saved the skill point, or just made a split-second decision. Okay, this Soul Rip is going to just turn this around, and now Rubik's top as well. They're going for another kill.
Snowballs in. Shibby's very low on mana, looking to try to retreat, but there goes the lift right back into the open arms of the rest of the Fire squad. Chops are coming on through. Beautiful block with the shards, and Shibby will be taken care of. Fluff is going to pick up another. He is 3-0 on his Rubik. He's going to get very rich very fast.
Yeah. They went bottom as well with both supports, it looks like, to try and find a counter kill, but Jo had mana for a Blade Fury if he needed it, but he didn't even come close to dying, it looks like. So, Fire with a fantastic start here against Root.
This is all lanes, too. Good pick on mid lane, taking out Monkeys forever. Back-to-back kills, 3 all day in that top lane. And 2 times they were able to take down Juan in the bottom. This isn't just one lane dominating. They're doing it everywhere. And now they're back at mid lane. Leads him with a Fade Bolt and a pullback beautifully right into 747 Sonic Wave. Dominating now. Fluff, the Ultra KSer, man. What are you doing? Share some love with ththose cores, for God's sakes. 7-1, Fire. Way out in front at the start.
It's like, I've seen the FY replays. That's what Rubik's meant to do. Take kills and make flashy plays. Like, come on, guys.
You have to have a high KDA, I've learned, if you want that high Dota buff ranking with that hero. So
okay.
Fluff's pushing for it. He wants to get his Rubik up in the top.
Oh, nice. I don't know. Do competitive games count? Because they do register on Dota buff, so...
I would think so.
Yeah, they might.
Okay, Monkeys, he's back now. He does have his level 6. Maybe they want to consider an early smoke or something. Put this Laguna to use. Get another kill, for God's sakes, because it's a very sticky start. Invis, though, is on bottom. Looks like Derp's going to be picking that one up. That leaves Monkeys with the bounty on top. Bottom lane, though! Boom, bang, Omni Slash, and the battery stops him from getting the one last auto attack, but it finally does come through. Where's my Cold Embrace? It's not going to be there. Jo, the TP's right in front of the dragon and will make it back to safety.
That Cog somehow pulled the Jug inside when Jug wasn't even that close. I think it was the trees that messed it up there, because that Cogs, I think, should have pushed him back, but...
Yeah, that might have been the intention, but...
Yeah.
Dota is sometimes a cruel thing. Well, they pull back. Big advantage for them right now. We look at 747, still nursing a bit of gold here as he continues to bottle Crow. Fluff, who's been very mobile this game, getting very close to some very early arcanes for what should be a position 5 Rubik. got a serious amount of farm here.
Yeah, he's having a great time, and Fire as a whole are just upping the pressure now. You've got level 5 on both your offlaners, Tusk and Undying, so that's gonna
just... Is that a walking courier at 7 minutes into the game, gods?
Gosh.
That is a walking courier.
Visage, I guess...
I get scolded in my pubs if I let that happen.
as support should be. I mean, one of these two is probably being scolded right now, and I imagine it's
up now.
Derp.
Jesus.
Yeah, it looked like Visage shelled out the cost for it, but that's where Monkey's probably had a rougher time as well. He couldn't just follow Crow if he wanted to get some XP there. Bit of a battle going over in the jungle here. Both Fluff and Monkeys want this neutral, but it's going to go the way of Lena.
Fluff just reads the game. He knows
Laguna.
he's missing from mid. Oh god, please don't hit me. Whitebeard, give him a rip or something. Oh, a zoning tomb, and look at the follow-up comes out. Monkeys might be desperate, gets an LSA off. Is he going to blow out the Laguna as the company does come? No, he's going to get hit with a sonic wave in the back, and he will get dropped. Derp looking to retreat away. Him and his flying buddy Jod just can't really handle it. They're pigeons right now. Not even dragons. They just have to get the hell out of there. Fire, claim, another life. Push ahead 9-1.
He just thought he had Fluff. He's like, okay, this is worth chasing for because this Rubik has a dominating streak, so it would have been a decent amount of gold if Lena gets that kill. And Lena's faster. You've got the 1 point in Fiery Soul, so you can chase her down with the help of that and just the faster base movement speed, but Undying saves the day.
And this tier 1 is going down. Nothing that Chibi can do except just watch the destruction before him. But it is going to be dropped. And that's when things can get a bit scary. That tier 1 going down means the jungle really opens up here at the top of the map. Fire could look to early invade, plant down more aggressive wards, just go on the prowl, and can't ask for a better duo to kind of do work like that. A Tusk and an Undying. They will go hunting here.
Well, this bottom duo is looking to contest that claim. They're smoked up, looking for kills themselves on the Rubik Jug.
Oh, we'll see if they can get it here. Very patiently. No one baiting lane, but sounds like a lot of people are missing on the map. I don't know how comfortable I feel. Meanwhile, top lane, though, they're also committing. Snowball onto Shibby. He's able to get the double chains off. Got to get blocked up from the shards. One rotation coming in, but there's going to be the uppercut trying to hold steady with that guard, but finally will go down the last right to the Whitebeard, and they get the return. Soul Assumption follow. Hookshot comes out from Juan, and Ja could also be a victim here. He goes down. A rip comes out from Whitebeard. He is making them work for this. Running right under the tombstone, eats the Laguna, and finally, the beast will be slain. And they will claim the extra 125 gold from the tombstone. And it did look like bottom lane, they may have made a commitment down there.
Yeah, they didn't get the kill, though. Clockwork just backed off in time, so... Good play, though, from Fire coming out on top. It was, 2 for 2 in the end, but they get the Ember Spirit once more, and for the Tusk Undying, a 2 for 2 trade where an Ember dies, yeah, you're ahead, and the kills give a bit more to Root. It's still worthwhile just because this is a hero who's being completely pressured, and Root had to rotate 4 heroes, so that's what leads to Fire getting this bottom tier 1 tower as well, their third tower of the game.
Well, with that, then another tier 1 is going to be claimed. Options for Roche become a little bit easier with those access points being removed. And they have certainly some good Roche capability with this Jug, who is going to go, or I imagine being that Mask of Madness build-up again, if not just the reliable Morbid Mask for now. Steps back in the jungle to just get his farm set. Schwan, though, could be the return hope here for Root, as he does have his hookshot online. We saw it go to work in the top lane to get that assisted kill onto Moo, but he needs to do a bit more with it here, get more of a setup. Might be a bit hard in this mid lane. 747 already sporting a DD rune. May not be their best target. But they also do have the birds online here, gods. Ja is level 6 now, and we'll see how much work they can add, because they are going to need it.
Yeah, experience-wise, at least Root have most of their core levels. They're still looking for the Winter's Curse on Wyvern, but just about to reach that level 6 point, so... We'll see if they can deal with the pressure coming bottom lane. Jair's feeling very safe in himself, and right up to the tier 2, for now at least, although he does back off once he realizes Root are pretty much rotating their whole lineup back.
Moo has a Blink Dagger already, so he is in a great spot. And maybe hoping for a counterplay if Jo was able to bait it out, but... Seems to be a lot more attention than they were anticipating from Root to this lane, so they do not want to get caught out. This is already getting to that kind of scary point where Fire have that much of an advantage. You're talking about top 3 all belonging to their team in net worth, that if Root Gaming are able to get a quick snag onto Jo or even onto 747, they will get a pretty penny for it. So it's nice to go out there and get kill, but you could bring back a little bit of that rubber band factor.
Yeah. It's got to be careful, especially with some of these bigger streaks. And that's where even someone like Fluff, your hard support, with a decent streak to his name, can be a decent source of income for Root, should they find him. And Root doing a good job just stacking up their jungle, making the most of what little farm they have available on the map, because they are losing map control very quickly here. Kind of confined to their own jungle, and even that will soon, I feel, not be very safe.
As you see, Monkeys just desperate to push and put together that Yules that we know Lena's just love to have. Makes for that easy setup. He's just going to blitz his way towards it. Looks like he is going to be able to get here in a moment, but look who is there to be a bit of a headache. Whitebeard creeping in. Dishes out an early decay, forces out the Arctic Bird, and a hook shot. Now will catch. They bump him right back into trouble. LSA Laguna, and he's going to be going down before anything could come off. There's a nice quick pick. Takes a couple of ultimates, but look at this. Return on Tijuan here. Can they take down the Clockwork? Shadow Strike, yes they can. Oh, what a sonic wave to follow up. They're trying to get more here, and they will. Blink in comes from Moose, snowball forward. They're going to get the grab. He still has the uppercut and instead uses it on the Wyvern. They take down 3 all day in exchange for just their undying Whitebeard. Now it's going to be 14-4 for Fire. Big fight for them, and, well, because of the Undying holding his own for a little bit, they were just easily able to get there and make chase.
Yeah, and that's the big problem for Bruiser. They have to throw so many spells to kill one hero that suddenly Fire's like, well, we can just go and engage. There's no Laguna that's to deal with. Lena's maybe has like 1 LSA Dragon Slave left as far as her mana pool went, and Ember Spirit's not in fighting shape. He's just trying to catch up on levels and farm, and this is where all that early game pressure on Chibi pays off, because that's the kind of fight where it does not go well for Fire if Ember Spirit's like level 10, has drums and a magic wand. He's just picked that up now. If he'd had this a little sooner, and I think more than the items, he needs levels, which he just doesn't have.
Pull on to Clockwork here. He goes for a desperate hook, but he goes nowhere except to the grave. He's going to get dropped right now. 15-4 here for Fire. Getting every little scrap and every little pick you can. Shibi, after that mild tussle, does return to base, does have his drums now, but I agree with you. It just feels like it's a little behind, 1 step behind. Fire seem to be just kind of etching a bit further out in front, and they recognize their power advantage, and they're looking to use it. I mean, Fluff still holding a smoke. I don't think they're going to be looking to let up anytime soon.
And Queen of Pain has completed Orchid now, so this is where Shibi can't even really farm safely in the lane. Oof. When the Orchid, Queen of Pain can just go get and solo kill you effectively.
He's going to want to use it too. Orchid just has that nice little window of time right when you get it, and if you get it early, you can easily crank out maybe 2-3 surprising big kills before a team like Root would realize, okay, nowhere's really safe. They're going to dangle Jo out in front to chop down this tower, but they certainly have help nearby. Moo waiting on the side. Got 747 also looking for that counter fight. Even Whitebeard coming in. So that tier 2 is going. Root don't want to bother, and this is more economy coming the way. Already over that 10k net worth advantage for Fire. XP nearly the same.
Yep. And looks like they're not going to consider Roche quite yet. They're going to just defend, push their other side lanes. Jero TP's up top and contest the Ember Spirit's lane, but the rest of Fire are just lingering around and actually taking some Ancients, pressuring the mid lane, so you pull out the Juggernaut, and it's still Fire, feeling very confident with where they stand.
Light booster picked up on Whitebeard. I imagine for now just a reliable booster. What do you think, though? Crimson Guard, Atos, probably a reliable Vanguard to lead in. He just needs to get more tanky, and we'll see if he can tank out this. Oh, ball in for Moo, interrupts Monkeys. Monkeys now could be going down, gets the save from the Cold Embrace, but there's going to be the finishing blow. Comes out from 747. He gets the beautiful follow-up, now taking down Derp. Looks like Clockwork is going to be the 3rd victim here, and it's going to be going to Fluff. So 3 down all day. Now Shibi up in arms with 747. He's going to be forced to retreat. So will Ja. 3 go down from the side of Root. Fire continue their onslaught here in game number 1. And they're going to be rewarded also with a tier 2 tower. This is very one-sided already.
Yeah, that was effectively a 4v5. Jero was top lane the entire time, never even showed up for the fight. I think at the same time, Visage wasn't really there either, but it was Root trying to take a fight, knowing the Jug's not there, and just getting demolished. So, Fire, not just the tier 2 mids, the tier 2 top as well, and that's all out of towers taken, 16 minutes in the game. This is a complete stomp right now, and Fire probably going to be looking for like a Roshan into a high ground push. They have all the tools they need. You've got Undying to drop a Tombstone, Juggernaut with an SMY, chuck an Aegis on him, and suddenly you've got an actual great high ground sieging lineup, and Root do not have the best high ground defense. Winter's Curse probably the best thing they have right now. Ember Spirit doesn't have any Battle Furies. Lena's just... I mean, I guess you can throw a few nukes here or there, but they're going to have to hit a massive Winter's Curse if they want to try and take any kind of a fight.
They have to have the inkling that this Roche is happening right now, but can they do anything about it? They might be able to get someone in the back lines here. Well, a lot of hate. Can they finish off this Queen of Pain? There comes the rip, and they got her. Monkey's probably going to pick up that one. That is a big bounty coming his way. 748 gold plus the net worth that she already held. They are able to jump in. This Clockwork, he's met death many times, and he's going to have to say hi once more. 0-7, unfortunately, for Chuan. Not his best game so far. He is going to be paying the price in exchange for that Queen of Pain, but nonetheless, you can see... Oh, it doesn't show it. Or fight recap, but they do get a nice chunk of gold there from taking down Susie.
750 gold for the streak going to Queen of Pain, so you can imagine something like a probably 1200 gold swing maybe for that kill, with some gold going to the other heroes nearby, so will be a Roshan take from Fire, but here come Root Gaming. They're smoked up. They're going to be a bit too late, and they may find themselves in a teamfight scenario.
Oh, Shibby moves in. They immediately see it. Now the Roche already goes down. They're going to be jumping in, and they just recently acquired a mech on the side of Fire, so they better be ready for the second life here. There's the mech going to be popped. Soul Suction onto Fluff, but Fluff's able to walk away. Full Omni comes up, but there's the Cold Embrace, but can't really stop a lot of the damage from the Sonic Wave. Self-Fuels will keep him alive from now, but he's going to be finished off. Derp on the high ground, trying to hide away to safety, but 747's right there. He'll be holding on bravely, but he will end up going down. Shibby is like, I can't do this anymore. I got to go. Runs back and away, as he will buy his ruby red shoes. It's still Fire getting the best of it. A 2-for-1 trade, as they do hand over their Fluff Rubik. But still, that is now Aegis picked up, put into the pocket of Jo on his jug. They are still in a commanding position to now consider flirting around with the high ground push.
Yeah, and you kind of asked, what's the Undying going for? It will be the Crimson Guard. Vanguard completed and a Buckler back at base. They'll have Crimson Guard, they'll have mech for the team. They'll be looking really solid with any kind of aggression high ground push they want to go for. Rubik's also started leveling up the null build, so didn't actually go for the max telekinesis. I think recognizing that just going high ground earlier, using the magic resistance that the aura provides may be a better way of going about this, and I kind of like Fluff's build this game. With the position Fire in, they're just going to be able to push high ground that much sooner.
Yeah, and it's not even just for the heroes, even for the creeps, they could be just that bit more durable against like the pesky Splinter Blast, the any sort of magical clearing damage. They just get that extra bit of sustain, and if those creeps are able to soak up that extra 1-2 auto attacks, that might be more than enough time for Fire to kind of finish what they want to start inside the base of Root here. We'll have to see, though, for the side of Root, what kind of high ground defense they really got.
And Emberbolt Boots of Travel, which has just knocked me a great fighting item. Not to say it was the wrong pickup, it's more just the nature of their draft. They want to be able to kind he wants to be able to just TP to a lane, push it out, apply some pressure, and then be able to Remnant and TP or TP back and join up for the fight. But it's just very little team fight damage output.
Looked like they were considering a TP back, at least on the Quap, but recognizes that if she does TP in, it could be straight into a Yule's and some serious problems. So as they go for a tier 1 bottom, it's Fire who are knocking at the front door here. Derp starts dishing out those Splinter Blasts. They can do some deceptively good damage, especially when he's got it maxed out at level 4. Jo eating a lot of the damage here, does have that Aegis. Now the hookshot comes in, it's going to catch on to the Rubik, who will quickly get silenced.
That Orchid saving Fluff there, I want to say. If the cogs scout on Fluff and locked him in place, it could have been bad news bears.
Oh yeah, easy damage from afar, from your Lena, from your Visage. He would have been in big trouble. Though he does have a Force Staff now. I don't know if he just snagged that up, but...
It just arrived.
So now he's like got an answer for those cogs. This is going to be a bit of a tricky game here for Root if they want to stop this all-in push, but they get one hell of a Winter's Curse. Annihilates Fluff immediately with the power of Jo attacking him down. Good catch right there from Derp. Tombstone's committed, is going to be healed up. Crimson Guard going to be popped here. They're looking to soak up a lot of the damage. There's a big Sonic Wave, not able to finish off Derp, who is going to go into a Cold Embrace. Jo staying back and behind, doing some damage to the structures and clearing out the waves, and it looks like Fire's still not able to really kind of make a big move onto the racks yet.
They're healing up with the wall, and they've still got Aegis, though.
Heals are coming. There's the rip from Whitebeard.
Tomb's about to expire. This is a good time to go if you're Root.
And plus Wyvern's back. Derp committing his buyback here for this one. Whitebeard eats the Laguna, still holds strong. His ult's going to expire here, and it looks like he will eventually go down. And Fire have had enough. They are able to walk away with at least one Rax, and it is the big melee Rax.
Yeah, so Root got 2 kills, the Rubik and the Undying. and they lost their melee racks. They had to use a buyback on Winter Wyvern. They didn't lose any other heroes elsewhere, so they at least kind of grew their economy a bit. But as far as where Fire stand, they can actually go for another push soon here if they want to. They've still got I imagine about a couple minutes left on this Aegis, but it's enough time that they can threaten the high ground once more.
For now, once the push seems to have subsided, they want to get these lanes away from their base as much as possible. Should be just really pushing out this top lane right now. Probably will circle back for some of the farm through the jungle on the way out. See Derp moving back out. Obviously going to be a bit poor after he had to commit the buyback for that bit of a defensive hold. Drops an obs right in the mid lane. Looks like it was just a hair out of Fluff's vision. As Fluff will step back. Both teams just kind of going back to their separation of farm. 747 now has the Agnums on the Queen of Pain. Might have had it on that last push. Didn't really get the chance to click on him there, but we saw how potent, how effective that damn ultimate can be. Now he's going to have it that much more often. I'm up for Monkeys here. He's trying to get an Agnums. He's only one component away, but risks committing his buyback money just to get it here if the push comes soon.
Maybe just like a necessary evil for him, though. He probably feels like he needs some damage here to kill someone like Jo inside the Blade Fury, and also against like the Undying. The Undying, just this cloak alone gives some extra spell resistance. That Laguna Blade is not doing anywhere near enough damage to burst down something like Undying, so it needs to get that pure damage effect to target that tanky Undying on the front lines.
Especially if he's able to finish out that pipe.
Well, and the other thing is you've got Null Field. So there's Null Field magic resistance. Undying has a cloak. The magic resistance is actually a big problem. So yeah, I totally agree with Monkeys just rushing into the Ags, not stopping off for any kind of a Bloodstone or anything else.
After loudly slashing his way through those Ancients, Jo, 5k gold now after recently completing his SMY. Appropriate pickup, what do you think here? Is it like a butterfly kind of a game? Is it a basher? Scotty tanking it up?
You want stats, you want to just be tank it up and just... It's a better probably high ground pushing item than anything else you can get.
Ooh, Whitebeard scouts out Derp, commits a tombstone for this one. Ja is nearby by the secret shop here, just behind Whitebeard. But they're not looking to quite flank yet. But Clockwork jumps in, pops the rocket, sees that there's reinforcements from Fire and does not want to make a hook shot in. Turns back and away, and they all do retreat. Fluff his eyeball in this mid lane, and he gets caught in the back from Juan here. Bump forward, he has the Force Staff, tries to retreat away towards Queen of Pain, but he will end up going down. What a sonic wave, though, flies out onto the 2. Shibby's able to make it away from trouble, though, and now here comes the rest of the Fire group, but it goes right into a Winter's Curse. Derp tries to go for a Valiant TP, will make it away. Big jump out, Moo, though, moving in quicker. The Blink's up now, but they don't have the vision on the Monkeys. Monkeys makes it out to the lower side, and it looks like maybe Fire could finish out this mid lane racks or just cut for the top lane.
They know there's no Winter's Curse. That's the big spell missing for Root to defend this.
Jo goes face first into a Cogs 2 times now. Doesn't really bump up a whole lot of mana, but Juan's just trying his best to slow them down here. Derp as well, committing in those Splinter Blasts, trying to keep the creeps away. And it looks like it's enough to just kind of cool off Fire a bit, push them back at least into the Root jungle for now.
Yeah. With the Healing Ward expiring, they couldn't really stick around on that tier 3 tower, and no more Aegis, so I think Fire may slow things down a bit, wait for the next Aegis to come their way, and even finish off items like the pipe that Whitebeard is going to be building. So in a pretty good position as it is, and they're going all out with the aura items. You've got the Guardian Greaves on Tusk, who's also building into a Vlad, so they're going to have Vlad's pipe, Guardian Greaves, aka your mech, and the Crimson Guard. So they've got all your high ground pushing items you can hope for. The one thing they're missing, which I think is actually maybe even like more important than a Vlad's, is the Solar Crest. Just to be able to put a Solar Crest on someone like Jo in the front lines actually helps the push more than like a Vlad's does, despite it being single target as opposed to an aura. But overall, the game plan is really solid from Fire. Just get ready to end this game as early as possible. Don't let it go late game where Ember Spirit can just delay things and build up and become that scary late game Ember Spirit.
Here comes Fire, smoke pops, they move in, they see a dragon, and they kill it right away. Monkey's going to be forced to self. Yule's trying to get away, but he is not. Poor man's Yule's, the telekinesis is going to come out there after. He's going to get dropped in just like that. 2 go down, no buyback from side of Root. This Rax is going down in the mid lane. Clockwork's like, God damn it, can't do anything about it. except kill this frickin' Sigil.
They may go top as well. No Ivan or Lena for quite some time, or look to force buybacks at least.
They're going. To begin their assault, Shibby moves in with his first sleight of fist. Very mild damage. Just not able to get the items you dream of as an Ember to be able to put off a push like this. A bit too soon for his timing, and Root Gaming overall say that we can't take this. Yep. We're done. Fire will take game number 1 of this best of 3 convincingly.
Absolutely. It was just a strong showing all around, and Fire, yeah, they played it well. They had a very clear idea. Once they got the advantage, which they did heavily, because they, to me, won all 3 lanes, which was just great drafting, and just the way they set things up. The last pick Undying, so they had the Tusk Undying at the off lane. They had the Juggernaut with good support to deal with the clockwork. Mid lane, Queen of Pain got 1 or 2 ganks coming out from the Rubik as well. So they won all 3 lanes, and from there it was just like, okay, we won all 3 lanes. Let's make sure it doesn't go late game. So they itemized correctly and did really well.